everyone, welcome back to Bands and Fans. It's Ella and I'm with the band Supahoney. Would you guys all like to introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Ciaran, the drummer.
Declan, the bassist.
Dylan, the singer.
Ben, the guitarist.
Okay, first off, how was that gig?
That gig went really well. We played, honestly, probably our best set in Melbourne ever.
Yeah, I feel the same. I thought it was really good. Dylan's singing was nice.
I think it was muy bonita.
Did you guys get nervous before this gig? How were the feelings before this? How was everyone feeling?
Yeah, fucking oath I got nervous. I freak out every time.
Nah, I was alright.
Nah, I'm a professional. I don't get nervous.
We had a practice gig the other day, so
So face the camera, bro.
we were all oiled up, ready to go.
That's definitely an expression to use. Okay then. So how do you guys usually prepare for gigs? Like, what's your routine?
Me personally, I like to eat, fuel up.
Yeah, I think usually a cup of tea, or like maybe a piece of coffee cake, or like maybe a nap, and then like a back rub, and then like maybe like hugs and kisses from everyone in the band, and then set up the gear and stuff. That's also, I guess, we have to do that.
I like to just ignore the fact that I've got a gig until right when we have the gig, and then I have to switch on. You know.
I rate that prep. Yeah, that's good.
What's your guys' dream venue? Usually it's like, I don't know, for Melbourne artists it's usually the Forum. But how about you guys? Because obviously you're from Sydney, so...
For Melbourne, the Palais Theatre in St Kilda. I went there the other night and saw Chris D'Elia, and I'd never been there before, and holy crap, that place is incredible.
We went to the Nightcat. We went to go see Godtet. Shout out Godtet and Tully. Yeah, I mean, so far one of my favorites. I like the Workers Club. I like the sound here.
Enmore's a good one. Enmore's a good goal, I think. Yeah. Enmore, Kudos, Bank.
That new one, Phoenix Central Park in Sydney. It's like a mini Guggenheim little.
Yeah, I like that.
Like it's like a spiral staircase, and
I think I misinterpreted the question. What was the question?
Like, what's your dream venue?
Oh, dream venue. Nonna's house. Glastonbury.
At Nonna's house.
Nonna's house.
Yeah.
Great venue choices. I'm gonna have to check those out, seeming that I'm not from Sydney, but we'll see it. What inspired you guys to make the band? Like, how did it form?
How did the band form? My end of it is Ben and I, we met in cooking class, and I was singing a Cranberries song, and he was like, oh, that's interesting. No one in my school sings Cranberries, so he noticed that, and then I said to him, hey, do you want to be in my band? And he said, yeah, fuck yeah, what band are you in? He said, oh, it's imaginary band, it doesn't exist. So I was really cute, and that's how we formed, and then I met Declan and Ciaran through Ben. So.
Yeah, me and Declan are brothers. We joined up with them. High school.
Well, damn, great story to the band, I guess. So what got you guys into music? Like, were you guys kind of like self-taught, taught by a mentor? Like, how was it?
Myself and Declan, we started music at around 10. We started going to Steve's guitar school in Hurstville, and that started our journey.
For me, geez. I started doing all this because I wanted to learn how to like record myself and like engineer and stuff and like make records like George Martin of like the Beatles, and I had no material to like work on, so I just made my own, and that's how I started doing all that. So yeah, kind of like a different angle.
How old were you?
I think 13, maybe 13.
Oh, so we started before you. Cool.
yeah. Oh, Ciaran.
Like an arsehole.
Ciaran and I used to jam every Monday morning before school for like 4 years. It was a long time, and I think we sort of found our sort of, pocket.
Well, that's your
doing
side
that.
of the... What was your side of the story? Because we met through cooking class. I'd said that bit. But what's the connection with Ciaran and...
Ben and I were doing grindcore at 8 a.m. every Monday morning in the music rooms.
Genting before homeroom.
Genting before homeroom.
Exactly.
Okay, how do you guys balance your time in the studio with other commitments? So like friends, family, work?
I struggle with it, to be honest. I'm still working it out.
Yeah, it's very hard, but I think if you're passionate enough, then you can pull it off. And Yeah, it just depends on your musicianship. I think if you really love it, it's not a chore in that way.
Yeah, use Google Calendars and
Yeah.
alarms. Alarms help a lot. Ciaran.
I need to get on that.
If you kind of involve your friends as well, it kind of adds to the process because they respect what you're doing and they don't, they know what you're doing is important to you. If you sort of block them out, then they might, it doesn't work as well or something. That's what I find.
Yeah, they hold you accountable, friends. That's why you should have a band, is because people hold you accountable for shit you need to do.
We get our friends to sing on our records, do group vocals, and we got some other musician friends who play piano and cello. And
Can I do a quick shout out to all of my musician friends? Okay, so let's shout out to Lily, and we'll also shout out to Adrian, and also shout out to Jenny, who played on the next single I Wish, and also shout out to Maddie Briggs, who played some awesome piano, and who else we get? Nicholas Bokopoulos Cook, full name there, baby. And Joseph K, yeah, he's an engineer, a friend of ours, producer. Just a few names on the album that we're thankful to, so all of our friends in music.
Okay. What's of course, literally shout out anyone. It's fine. What's your recording and creative process like?
Recording process for this album. So I did like all the recording and the producing and stuff in terms of just like mixing and all that. The process that I went through was we all recorded it live as a band, and then I think kept the drums, and then we refined all of our performances, and it's we just layered stuff on top of each other. But I found that was like 98%, but there was like a few tracks where pretty much everything came together at once. Like Kogra, which is on the new album, came together as one single take, and then a few other takes. I Wish, that was like a full band performance. So mostly all together and bashing it out.
That's pretty good. So, with this new album, what have you guys been taking away from it? Like the positives, negatives, anything you feel like you should change?
I think, Dylan.
No, I've been talking a little bit too much. You guys think about it.
I've been taken away from this album is a very kind of long drawn out thing where we were recording across multiple locations. I would like to, for the next one, perhaps try recording in one central place in order to replicate the place that we're in, because the songs are kind of detached from reality. They're just like abstract songs about possibly things you've written about and emotions and whatever it may be. Each song has a meaning, but it would be cool to do songs about a place or people in a place, because we were doing all different locations. It sort of got a little bit convoluted, and that's fine for now. Like, the album can be that way, and that's cool. People like that. But yeah, anyone else got something to say?
I think with this record, we've learnt a lot of lessons. I'm still not sure what those are yet, because I feel like we learnt those same lessons with the first record. So there's a bit of work still to be done. Not to say I'm not proud of what we've made. Like, I'm really proud of what we made, but maybe it's time to do it in a way that's a bit different, a bit maybe more streamlined and quicker, and less rip our hair out with the amount of time we're spending on it. What's the word? Just fixating on stuff that's probably...
We could streamline the process a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think we should go back to our roots and make a grindcore record next time.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a bit of a controversial question. When you guys have problems as a band, like arguments, whatnot, anything, how do you guys deal with it?
I throw hands.
Throw hands.
We definitely bring out the gloves. I think we settle it in front of each other.
Yeah, I mean,
I like to think so.
I like to think that even though we're all dudes in a band, I think we do manage it fairly well. I mean, there's no passive aggressiveness. If there's anything wrong, someone will just say it and say that the person who is being a dickhead is a dickhead, and then you just realize you're just trying to get to you just want to make music with people, so you squash all that as quickly as possible.
Yeah, we're all trying to get to the same goal at the end of the day, and you have to get over yourself to make good art. So, you know, when we have an argument, we all want it resolved as quickly as possible. You know, we're not petty or anything. So, yeah.
Okay, what song means the most to each of you guys, and why?
Cogra, because that's a suburb that I'm from, and we wrote a song about it.
We have one song that's not out yet, but it will be out in the next record. But Bunyip, it's called Bunyip. I like that one a lot. I connect to it.
Why?
Maybe it's because I wrote
The outro.
a lot of the lyrics of the outro of that one, but I like it a lot.
Yeah, that was funny. I want to comment on that. That was funny because it's the last song that we did, and you know, when you're finishing the album, it's like, all right, let's hurry up, finish it. But I'm listening to it now. It's honestly one of my favorites. So I like that one. And also, for me, I Wish, in terms of like the production and all that, I'm really proud of like my producing and musicianship and performances on that, because I wrote the string arrangement and I sung it and, you know, played on it. So I'm proud of how that came together. It was probably the most difficult song I've ever mixed because it was so sparse. So
I think one of our older songs, Kamale, which is off our last record, Every Cell in Your Body, deep cut. Listen to that one. It's kind of, for us, that was a sort of unlocked something in our playing, I think, because we were able to fit all these disparate elements together. And after doing that, we got a bit of confidence in, you know, using time signatures and using,
yeah, that's a good one.
I'm trying to like getting into.
Oh, you've ruined the moment now. So next question.
Do you guys have any long-term goals, and what are they if you do?
Own land.
Own land.
Own land.
Own land. Make money.
Yeah.
Get married.
Get $1 billion. Get married. Oh.
Get married. Yeah, love of my life. Get married to the love of my life. For me, make music very sustainable in, you know, any community that I'm in, and try and make that, you know, the entire existence essentially. It's like, you know, producing people, writing, recording, the entire thing.
Oh, you know, just live until I die, and then
Live until I die.
Live until I die.
Great goals, honestly, amazing goals. So I heard that for the first album, you guys released that with a label. For this next one, will you be releasing that independently, and how was it releasing with a label? Like, what did that change for you? Did you see any changes? Like,
Who can answer that?
Releasing with a label sort of put us in touch with a lot of people that pushed us along and sort of helped us progress in a few different aspects. One would probably primarily be recording. By signing with Ada for the first album, we got in touch with Wayne Connolly, who produced Youth Group, and that was great working with Wayne. And then sort of beyond that, a few big gigs that we did, but then we sort of were like, okay, this isn't really doing much else for us, so we're going to try something else. So we amicably parted ways, and we would be open to working with them again, but also we're looking for new opportunities.
Ditto, yeah.
it gave some structure to the whole
Yeah.
process. You know, doing it to releasing it yourself, you have to, you know, be strict with yourself, giving yourself that structure. When you got other people telling you, now you need to do this, now you need to do this, it kind of makes it easier to compartmentalize all the things you have to put in action.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's like, for me, I just learnt what you have to do when you release an album. Because if you're left to your own devices, then you don't know what to do. But when someone kind of shows you the way, you know what's expected in terms of the industry. So I think we learned that. But this, you know, at this time, we're on our own in that way. So we can kind of do whatever we want, but that's the difference, is just structure.
As the musicians, we, you know, always have like the creative brain going, and you got to really sort of ignore that when you're doing the business side of things, I think, because it can cloud what the better decision is, because you're attached to things that you've written, and, you know, from a business, like, you know, a label's point of view, they don't really think about it the same way you do. You know.
Another thing would be, don't be surprised if you sign to a label for the person, your contact, to just be like, make more reels and TikToks. Essentially, record labels just focus on reels and TikToks nowadays.
That's good advice for anyone out there. Make more reels and TikToks. Even if you're like 53 and have
you don't have
followers, to. Just make reels and TikToks. Get famous. Make money.
Just don't be surprised when they ask you to do that. Don't get disenfranchised, because it's very likely that's what they'll want you to do. But I'm sure everyone knows that at this point.
Yeah.
No, I feel like labels have been doing that a lot, especially with like the one-hit wonders of TikTok. They're like, oh yeah, that's your next turn. It's your turn next.
Yeah.
But I think it's good to be independent for a bit because you kind of get more freedom and control with what you do as a band. But next question is, what's your biggest challenge in like being a band, being an artist?
Biggest challenge being a band.
Getting overseas, I reckon.
Yeah, we'd like to play more. Like Sydney's home turf, and we know a lot of the venues there. But it'd be nice, like coming to Melbourne, for instance, it's heaps of fun. Like it just feels like a whole new world of opportunity, and that. So going overseas would be a big one too.
Yeah, we want to go to New York. We got some contacts there, and possibly UK. I think those places sort of. Also Chile. Dylan's from Chile,
yeah.
so.
My family is from Viña del Mar, Chile, Valparaíso. Shout out. Somewhere there, one of those soccer stadiums or something. It'd be cool. Play to all those Latino rock fans.
Biggest challenge?
As a band, yeah, maybe it's just sort of logistics of playing gigs far away. It's really a lot of things you got to sort out, and for it to be viable. You know, I mean, every band faces that, I think, but it's quite disheartening sometimes when, you know, it's just sort of so difficult to get there, you know, first to actually play the gig, whereas it once wasn't, I guess.
What do you guys do to ensure you keep growing and developing as artists?
I try to play drums on songs that don't have actual drums on them. So I play a lot to drill, which is like 808s and computerized music. And then I also try and play a bit to old school like music from the 30s without drums on it. Stuff like that. Playing like odd, challenging music on drums.
Me personally, I don't practice actually that much. I should be practicing more, but I guess this year I try to listen to as much music as possible to really, I guess, extend my breadth of musical knowledge, because it's very easy to just, you know, stick to the music you really like and just constantly listen to it on repeat. Like, that's fun to do, but it's not really, I guess in a way it's like doing homework, and but it's fun too. Like you don't realize how much stuff is, how much cool music is out there, and listening to it gives you more ideas, so it helps for sure.
Yeah, changing the scenery for me is like the biggest thing when it comes to changing your musical outlook. Like, I love playing with Supahoney, but there's people that I engineer and that I work with and I produce that have a totally different playing sensibility, and it's interesting to see that. So working on that music, hanging out with all kinds of musicians, like people who don't even play like a string instrument like Ben or Declan, just like experiencing music and the way it's interpreted through different people like that. And listening and changing my taste as much as possible. Like the moment I'm like, I found this album. It's called Black America Sings the Beatles, and it's like a compilation album of all black artists from like the 60s and 70s, and they cover Beatles songs. And it's interesting to see, the songwriting stays the same, the arrangements and the performances. It's a entirely different approach. So I love that about that particularly. So yeah, changing the scenery.
Yeah, I think just being open to all new experiences. Really, I think a song can come from anywhere, whether it's a book or a painting or seeing, watching something, or even just going for a walk. And other, making new friends. And because if your life, I feel like if you're just working on your life, you're actually working on your music at the same time, because music reflects your life. So yeah, that's it.
What artists are like the ones that you want to collab with the most? Who would you like to collab with? Dead or alive?
Dead or alive?
Spaniard.
Spaniard. I knew you were going to say Spaniard.
I can't think of one right now to collab with.
Yeah, can we get Spaniard to drop a verse on our new
I was
song?
going to guess for you, Declan. I'm just going to guess what Declan's. I think you're going to do like a film composer or something. Like not even like a band or like a singer, like that sort of contemporary thing.
Maybe, yeah, that'd be cool. Work with Han or Kamasi Washington.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
He's like
Kamasi Washington.
He's god tier. Imagine working with Hans Zimmer. That'd be sick.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
ultimate
but I
collab.
Brian Eno. Brian,
You out there?
you right?
You're out there.
Dylan.
Off the top of my head, Kevin Shields. I think it'd be fun to sit in the studio with him for like 8 hours, work on like the same guitar part for like 8 hours, and then just be like, no, the EQ's not right. Bit more mids, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
What advice would you like to give to other artists out there in Australia?
Yeah, go.
Make reels and TikToks.
What were you gonna say?
I was going to say, go to gigs. Just make friends with people in the scene. I'm guilty of not doing that this year. I've been really...
Hermit.
I've been a hermit. I've been indoors. Sorry.
What's gonna happen?
Yeah, you got to get out there. You got to be involved in the scene. You can't just go in the corner and do your own thing. Otherwise, no one cares about you. So,
I think be humble and don't develop an ego or like don't be headstrong. Just play gigs and be very friendly.
do
to
mushrooms.
people. Maybe do that too.
I'd say do mushrooms, have a big ego, and don't be friendly. No, honestly, this industry for me is just making mates, and then having those mates have the same interests as you, and then just doing that together. That's the biggest thing for me. Just
Yeah. If you have an ego, you don't make mates, and you can destroy relationships, I think, pretty quickly and burn bridges. So if you're humble and you're nice to people, you will succeed more, for sure.
Yeah, just stick with it, because you're constantly gonna come up against challenges, and it's gonna not seem worth it, but it will be worth it when you hear the music. Yeah.
I definitely agree with the don't get an ego. I feel like I've met a couple of artists who have been so a bit stuck up when I talk to them.
Who is it?
Not gonna name drop you all, but we'll just say one person that
Okay.
they went from here. They were American.
Oh, okay.
But let's just say I interviewed them, did not want to look at the camera, did not want to speak, and really said, "Do I really have time for this?" So
What a gronk.
if you were watching this, I have beef with you, personal beef. But I agree with most of the advice. But one of the last few questions: do you guys have anything to say to your fans watching?
Keep an eye out
the
for
album.
our new album, hopefully releasing around September. If you're really keen, hit us up. We've got physical copies of it if you want early access. Otherwise, you'll have to wait till September or somewhere around there.
Yeah, vinyl's coming soon as well. That'll be cool. It sounds good. We've listened to it. It sounds very good.
Thank you for listening and watching all of our stuff. I think it's underrated to have people look at your stuff and enjoy it. So, thank you for doing that. And, say hi once in a while if you're at a gig, It'd be nice to see you.
Sydney people, we've got some gigs coming up in August.
Yeah.
And Wollongong. Where are we playing? Wollongong.
Wollongong, we're playing Seekers Brewery. I think that's August 20th or something.
August 8 at Buddy's Newtown.
Yes.
That's
August
another-
8, Buddy's Newtown.
Oh, yeah,
And then
with our friends Allardyce. Shout out Allardyce.
August 2nd at the Marlin Hotel, Ulladulla, with Rum Jungle.
Like how you lent into the mic.
We're going backwards in time.
Rum
We're not doing
Jungle.
chronology.
let's do that in order. So, August 2nd at the Marlin Hotel, Ulladulla, supporting Rum Jungle. August 8 at Buddy's Newtown, supporting Allardyce. August
20th, I think.
around 20th at the Seeker Brewery, supporting Georgia Jane. Otherwise, if you see us in person, just attack us and just attack us. Just fully like assault us. It'll be sweet. And is that it?
Yeah, well, that was basically all of the questions. So thank you so much, guys, for letting me interview you guys. This was amazing. You guys performed so well. Of course. Everyone, go catch their next gigs. Any gigs that you see that are in your area and they're performing, go there because it will be the best time of your life. But thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Thank you, Ella.